whose opinion, whose statement, whose words, whose judgment of you, whose accusation of you, or on you, or that was put on you, whose opinion stopped you. I mean it. Because remember, words cement things. They either produce life or they produce death. And that's why there's that quote that I have out there that's, if somebody's opinion has the capacity to take you off course, then make darn sure they're paying your bills 10 years from today, because they've probably just stolen your dreams. But the point is you allowed them. See, when words come, you got to do something with it. You either say, lie, and you don't even allow it to take root. Or you go, oh, is that what they think of me? And it begins to crystallize like a hull, a shell around you. And then one day you go back and you say, now I'm stuck. I had all these dreams. I had all these aspirations. My question to you is this, and extend grace, extend mercy. Don't hate. Promise, don't. But whose words? What words? Whose opinions stopped you from doing what you always wanted to do? Whose opinions and whose words stopped you from your calling? Whose opinions and words stopped you from being successful in your business? Whose opinions and words were a poison because you listened to friends that came in and tried to create a wedge in your marriage, or a wedge in your friendships, or a wedge even with your children, whether they're little or they're grown? Folks, I love what the scripture says. Every word that rises up against you in judgment, you shall condemn. Right? Well, it actually doesn't say that. It says every word that rises up against you, then there's the comma. Because we hear it like, every word that rises up against you in judgment, you shall condemn. This is the inheritance of the service of the Lord, of the servants of the Lord. Their righteousness is of me. Right? We have the right and the duty to cast down words, accusations, opinions, garbage that are spoken, whether from people, whether it's a spiritual thing or your own head. Lies are to be cast down. But we say, well, we don't even realize that when it comes, comma, we shall in judgment condemn those words and cast them down. Well, there's another verse that is abused. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord will rise up a standard against him, right? You hear this constantly. I'm like, you don't even know the original language. When the enemy comes, period. When he comes, like a flood, the Lord will rise up a standard against him. It'd be like somebody knocking on your door, and the second their hand hits the front door, they are blown back into the trees out on the other side of the neighborhood. Be jealous, guys. Cut this stuff out. Turn these opinions off. Shut this stuff down. People say, well, the devil's trying to get me, and this. And, I heard, get a little theological here, but I heard, God's trying to be, the devil's doing this and that and the other, and God's trying to do this and this. I'm like, let me just tell you something. The devil ain't the opposite of God. He's the opposite of Michael. Understand that. He's a fallen angel. He's the opposite of Michael. Quit acting like you are a chess piece on a giant table, and God's on one side and the devil's on the other side, and they're playing chess, and somehow in the cosmic whatever it's going to work out. That's perversion. It's lies. It's absurd. Evil in no way, shape, or form has any capacity to even measure up to God at any level. It's absolutely a ridiculous concept. So this is about words, because remember, take every thought captive. Every thought. Remember, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow that character, you'll reap your destiny. Where does it start with? Words. It starts with thoughts. Thoughts. Whether they come from you, people, which turns into words, you let it plant in your heart, and you begin to walk the thing out. Don't let your destiny be the fruit of the seeds that somebody planted in words earlier. So, a little heavy, but you all need to hear this. People say, yeah, man, I'm just struggling, this, that, and the other. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm not. People say, that's pride. I'm like, no, it's not. That's the standard that rises up against the lies. That's why you can stand. Promise. You have a lot more power. There's a lot more power available than you've ever imagined. And you just don't have to be a cliche talker that in one breath says, I'm just believing this and I'm just trying to get a victory here and I'm really excited about this, that, and the other. And in the next breath, you just accept this drudge, this crusty walk, and you just say, well, that's the path that I'm on. And so we embrace it rather than casting it down and absolutely annihilating it. We are supposed to, and we were created to annihilate that stuff, not to embrace it and super spiritualize the concepts and say, oh, it's supposed to happen. This is being allowed to teach me something. That is perversion. So I didn't know I was going to talk about all this today on the video, but hey, somebody needs to hear it. You know why? Because I need to hear it and needed to hear it. So it's with that. Outlive your critics, guys. Never miss a moment. You don't have to in life. Don't let regret be your taskmaster. It's a terrible taskmaster. Do it all. Do it now. Cast down words. Cast down opinions. Turn off the noise. Don't embrace it. Don't embrace it. You don't have to. Be fruitful in season and out of season. Because when somebody walks by and brushes against your branches, you better have fruit. The world needs fruit, guys. They need fruit. They need answers. And you've got it. Just don't believe the lie that you don't. All right. See you in the next video. Bye.